Hey everyone, I'm Claim. I watch anime and play games. But today I'm trying something new. I'm here to talk about anime, and more specifically, my top 10 most awaited animes for the summer season 2023. We have an interesting season on our hands, and I think there will be plenty to watch. But what will I be watching? Well, I've checked them out, and here's the result, starting with what I'm looking forward the most. Okay, so to start off, I think the big two are fairly obvious. I doubt either of them really need an introduction, and I think they are already fairly well known. But I said that I'd put them in order of what I'm waiting the most for this season, so here it goes. It's got to be Mushoku Tensei Season 2. Um, I have a small confession. I love isekai. My anime list has a sizable portion of it taken over by isekais. I even watch mediocre ones, even because, I can't really get enough. Uh, this video will not make things any better because there's just so much isekais to watch seasons after seasons. Mushoku Tensei is one of them, but unlike many other isekais, I can actually call it good. No, actually, I would call it great, or no, I think it's still too weak. I gotta say it, I think Mushoku Tensei Season 1 was a goddamn masterpiece. Uh, I'm not alone thinking this. If you haven't already watched it, go do yourself a favor, it's great. And if you need any convincing, just go and watch Garn's video or something. After my video, right? It truly deserves a title of masterpiece, so let's just hope that the season 2 hold up to this, and so far I've watched the episode 0 and it looks very very promising anyway. But if Mushoku Tensei was number 1, then Jujutsu Kaisen has to be the second one. The season 2 promises to still be as dark, gritty, violent, gory, and oh so beautifully well made as the season 1. I don't think it really needs more of an introduction. There's a reason it's currently the most awaited anime this season on my anime list right now. With Mappa behind the wheel, I'm sure it's a safe bet to say that it's going to be insane. To me, watching Jujutsu Kaisen and Mushoku was an absolute no-brainer. The next entry would be Bungo Stray Dogs Season 5. It's already the 5th season of Bungo, and for the sake of keeping this spoiler-free, I really can't say too much, but the Season 4 left us off at a very interesting point. I'm so looking forward to the completion of the current arc. I think Bungo Stray Dogs Season 4 was the best yet, and I hope we can carry its momentum forward with a glorious Season 5 and bring out these things to a brilliant conclusion, and all that scheming, preparation made in previous seasons are brought to a wow ending of the season. So far, these were all returning animes, but there's obviously many new entries that are very interesting as well. The first entry that's a new one for me would be Zom 100. Let's give you a brief rundown from what I could understand of the trailers and the given description. So we've got a protagonist that's a salaryman that's been broken after years of hard, grueling work at his terrible job. Can already imagine him shuffling through the office like a zombie even before the outbreak. But he's now set free from his day-to-day grind by nothing less than a full-blown zombie apocalypse. To be honest, the trailer seems to focus more on the pre-apocalypse stuff rather than the rest of the story, so I'm not too sure what this is going to look like, but it seems like it might be fairly intense, comedic, and a colorful anime. So it did still grab my interest. Plus, I have to point out that the author of the source material is the very same person that wrote Alice in Borderland, so I think the post-apocalyptic like survival stuff would be at very least presented in an interesting way, and I don't know if it will have any of the mind game psychological element found in Alice in Borderland, but we'll see. Even without much to go on right now, the general style of what we've seen so far and the author make me fairly optimistic about this. Okay, the next one could have been at the same level as Zom 100, but it's Reign of the Seven Spellblades. It seems to be a Harry Potter spoodler if they couldn't give less of a shit about the students being mauled by monster and dying horribly. Even the classes are dangerous, the Endmaster says there's a 20% mortality rate, so it seems to be a pretty dark anime, right? In a world where only obtaining more powers seems to be important, a bunch of hot-headed teenagers put together in a dangerous environment where can seemingly get killed at any time, I expect that's shock and generally a holy shit what's gonna happen. Overall, it seems to be a dark twist of the magic high school genre, and I certainly hope this doesn't disappoint. And boy, I do hope the student get a good school counselor because that can be easy, man. Okay, next up is Liar Liar. It's brought to us by Studio Geek Toys, who recently brought us Denmao Dead Play, so that's something. It seems to be a school anime themed around winning games to progress, psychology, and bluffing, so maybe some kind of crossover between Kakegurui, Classroom of the Elite, and perhaps a hint of No Game No Life. Admittedly, the personality of the MC will have a huge impact on how that anime will end, whether he's more of a scheming manipulator like Ayano Koshikun, or maybe it's going to be a bit more lighthearted. Will the presented games be interesting? Will they have surprise twists, loopholes to exploit, or will they be straightforward, predictable, and boring? Overall, I'd say I'll definitely give it a try and see what's going on and if they manage to make it interesting as a whole. Okay, the 7th entry is Classroom for Our Heroes. In a world where the Demon Lord has already been defeated, the hero made a school to train future heroes. The main character is a hair-headed guy who just transferred into the school, and he seemingly immediately butts head with the number one student, the so-called Empress of Flames. I can already imagine the heated debate between them turning into literal fireballs flying around the class. To me, it seems like a more light-hearted show, and as expected, plenty of waifus to choose from, even those I'd really rather not. I'm not too sure where this anime might head. I'm guessing it's just gonna be day-to-day rivalry between them and their daily school lives, but regardless, I think it might be worth giving a shot to see if its humor and character land well, or if they're just gonna drop the most cliche scenarios and the cheesy or cringy lines on us. My unique skill makes me OP even at level 1. This one is actually fairly interesting to me. Guy gets isekai'd into an RPG-like world, but he's stuck at level 1. That sucks, right? But obviously, our MC is special, and while he remains level 1, he seems to have some insane crafting skills that allow him to craft seemingly anything. Can fight? Who needs to when you can have a gun? This all in first situation seems to largely happen in a dungeon exploration setting, where he and his harem makes use of modern day things that really shouldn't be there. While it does seem like an interesting idea, I hope they do explore it a bit more in depth and make something interesting of it, because just having a gun going bang bang would get fairly predictable and repetitive. So let's see what more they can bring to the table and if they go beyond the simple and obvious solutions. I think inventivity here is key, otherwise the team would just feel underutilized and would be bland like a bag of nature flavored chips. There's something, but it's really boring. Okay, I wasn't too sure about where to put this one, but Reborn as a vending machine. Okay, as much as I love isekais, this is a bit ridiculous. A man gets killed by a vending machine, then reincarnates as it. Dude can't even talk, he just used pre-recorded sounds of the vending machine, can't really do much, and he's basically being carried around by adventurers. This is perhaps the most stupid premise I've heard in a little while, and out of the sheer ridiculousness of it, I kinda wanna maybe try it out. No, actually, I probably will watch it just because isekai, right? Not gonna lie, I hopefully it's good, but will it maybe leave us craving for more? Not sure yet. Okay, as for the last entry, I'm really not sure about this one. Could have been something else, but I just really wanted to throw it in there. Am I actually the strongest? So about this one, well, the isekai junkie that I am really wants to watch it, and to be honest, I probably will. But my expectations for it are very, very low, to say the least. Reincarnate as a baby into the royal family, then abandon, then adopt. And years later, it turns out, wow, the MC is actually very strong, and it's just overpowered generic MC stuff. With a touch of fan service, or, well, a lot, really. Considering what the studio previously made, it's not all that surprising. but it certainly isn't the strongest entry in this list, that's for sure. So, what do you think about this list? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Probably you disagree with it because you don't like isekais as much as I do, but I'm sure that hopefully at least you saw something interesting, and probably like everyone else, you and me included, we'll be watching Mushoku Tensei and Jujutsu Kaisen. But the rest of the list does absolutely still seem interesting to me, and I hope we can all have fun watching those entries as well. So, what are you going to watch? Leave it in the comments even if you don't agree. And if you do want to see more of this, like and subscribe, there probably will be more like this in the future. Okay, that's all. See ya!